What you're about to watch are the outtakes of the video I recently uploaded on my main channel. I asked 4 creators what they thought about stackable clues, but we also talked about some other things that you did not see in the other video. So enjoy!
Okay, my personal thoughts on stackable clues. So I've been really outspoken about the whole clue topic. It feels like leagues as well always come around, and because they're stackable clues in leagues, it feels like the community really craved doing stackable clues again. And there's like a reason to have a discussion about these kind of things, because the game does progress. We all, as a player base, are getting older, and we kind of just want to like have fun, but we also have so many responsibilities. Well, at least most of us. And we have, like, you know, things are going on in life, and we really, at least in my opinion, I see this game now as like, let's focus on the fun aspect. Let's try to keep the balance. Let's try to keep the integrity of the game, but ultimately, like, what is the most valuable thing about this game? And it's fun.
A lot of people would disagree, but
yeah, and that's fair. But that so my opinion is that I think that's the thing that should be focused on most.
So you weren't particularly a fan of stacked clue scrolls yourself? Not even masters? In terms of, like, as a main, you're spam opening a bunch and then you constantly have to stop opening them to do a master?
I definitely don't want them in the game, but if they pulled it, I would have to be... I just have to get used to it. I mean, it's nothing to really get used to it. If they pulled it, it would absolutely pass with flying colors nowadays. Like, if it passed, I wouldn't be mad, obviously. It'll make clue scroll openings a bit easier, but I just don't think that the game needs it.
Stackable clues is something we already kind of see in the main game. So mains obviously have imp links, and they've had that since like, what, 2015, 2016? And that's pretty much a form of stackable clues. And a lot of people, I mean, you saw the high, I mean, back then there was no like official high scores, but there was like I think an OS buddy sort of clue high scores going on. I mean, people had just such low clue counts, and then as soon as those imp links came out, I mean, people have shot up. I mean, there's people with over 100,000 mediums and stuff. It's nuts.
Clue scrolls, I see it for people who actually genuinely enjoy the kind of content that clues bring, which is, you know, I feel like you and I both enjoy the content fairly much so. And then a lot of people want to see clues as a get rich quick kind of thing. It could happen, sure, you know, someone could get their first master clue, is like, oh hell yeah, 3rd H pickaxe. Well, grats, you just made 12 bill or however much that thing is now. And a lot of people like to go for that quick, you know, get rich quick scheme kind of thing.
You're saying that clues are the crypto of Runescape. Do you think we should have unlimited stackable clues? Like, go all the way to 100 or whatever?
If we're allowing stackable clues, let them do it all. Or do you think there should be like 5 in a stack or something?
Yeah, I think it'd be a bit too broken if you just had unlimited. Same thing with League happened. Like, you had 400 clues in your bank, and you just look at the stack, and you're just like, nah, not gonna do them.
I mean, there's gonna be that 25, 20 to 27% of the community that's going to hate the idea of it. But like I've said before, I just think clues would be much more enjoyable if you can get a few of them and then knock them all out at once, instead of constantly feeling like, oh shoot, I got a clue, but I don't really want to stop what I'm doing. But if I don't stop what I'm doing, then I could miss out on another clue because I have this clue on me now.
Wait, how many clues do you have on your account?
Let's check. I bet you it's less than like 10.
Look at this. You've done 71 clues.
71. I'm moving up in the
That's not too bad.
It's hard to think for like short-term effects of it and then long-term effects of it. Like if there were stackable clues and you had people stacking up hundreds or thousands of clues, because RuneScapers are crazy. There's absolutely going to be people eventually that are going to show screenshots of thousands and thousands of clue scrolls in their bank. They may not do them. They might just collect them just for, you know, the sake of collecting. But it's like it raises questions. It's like the prices of 3rd Age, is it going to go down, gilded? But if you look at the prices of imp links, those things have gone up like 3x to 5x over the last 2 to 3 years alone, while the prices of clue loot, like normal clue loot, like common items, have gone down. So it's becoming a little bit more unviable unless you're absolutely, you know, loaded with GP to do it.
Basically, I just want people to be able to hold as many clues as they want, and if you're doing like a Hellhound task, you get 5 different hard clues. You can just pick them all up, but then you have to actually do the clues themselves. And this is actually kind of where I think the idea kind of shines, in that if you do get, like, let's just say 2 agility pyramid hard steps, you have 1 on one clue and 1 on the other, you will be able to kind of navigate your way solving multiple clues at once and try to like be more efficient by, okay, I just gotta like the agility pyramid step on this clue. Let me wait and see if my other like 4 clues in my inventory will also allow me to go to the agility pyramid, so I can do them both at once. Whereas if you just have purely stackable clues, you just have to solve the clue, and then the next clue pulls up, and then you have to solve that one. But I think there's a little bit more diversity and a little bit more fun and sort of like more like, I don't know, 200 IQ analysis that can be done when you're doing multiple clues at once, because you kind of are trying to figure out the most efficient route. And I think that could actually offer a lot of like fun with clues. And I think it kind of at least gives the feel that you have stackable clues, but there's, again, like I said, a natural stopping point. Like you couldn't just endlessly thieve ham members and get like 200 easies. That just wouldn't be feasible. One, they don't stack because you put them in the bank, and you know you're gonna have to have the bank space for it. But on top of that, just inventory management wise, there is this kind of natural limit of maybe like 5 clues done at once. And so that's my personal take on stackable clues. I know I just threw that all on you, but
No, you're all right.
If they don't release stackable clues for the entire game, I am just seriously hoping that whenever wildy clues come around, that you can at least stack those, because the problem I talked about, where it being annoying when you get a clue and you don't know if you should stop and do it right away or not, that's going to just be an even bigger problem for Wilderness Slayer, or people that like doing Wilderness Slayer like I do.
Oh, for sure. You ever done a jelly task with a Ring of Wealth Ion?
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude, I walk out of there with 9 clues. It's just stupid because I refuse to leave. Also, I think that drop rate is also wrong. I think it says 1 in 64 with the Ring of Wealth Eye on the wiki. There's no, it's like 1 in 32 for sure.
Yeah, it's 1 in 32. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the drop rates for those guys in general were completely wrong. Well,
really?
not completely. Well, the Laren's keys for the longest time were absolutely wrong, because they were saying things like neck reels were around 1 in 75 drop rate for the Laren's keys, which was just not true, because they forgot to take into account that way back in the day, if you had a Slayer creature that in the wilderness, so like a spiritual mage, they would have an increased Laren's key drop rate. So when they added the cave, they forgot to stack that Laren's key drop rate with the cave's new ability to get more Laren's keys. So the drop rate for Laren's keys of the neck reels was actually more like 1 in 50 instead of 1 in 75 or whatever it was.
That might be exactly what's happening to jellies, because they're also a Slayer creature.
Yeah, every Slayer creature has a boosted drop rate and then has a further boosted drop rate inside of Wildy.
Oh shit. I've also heard you, and I used to share this opinion with you. I don't know if you still have it, because I'm a couple Sabe casts behind, but I'm sure you've also mentioned like a clue guild at some point. And I believe your whole idea was also to turn Watson's house into that, if that's correct?
Yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of any sort of clue expansion. One of the worries is that the collection log has kind of actually been a gatekeeper of adding more clue expansions, because as soon as people green log a log, who the hell wants there to be more items added just to be like, oh well, now I have to recomplete it, and it's probably just going to take just as long as it did the first time. But I am a huge fan of the clue guild. I think in the thumbnail I made of that video in particular, I made a ramble talking about some ideas, and they're all just spitballing ideas. None of it is like I'm super advocating for, but it's just a hub sort of for the clue legends that have achieved, 100 masters, 200 elites, 300 hards, and so forth. And there would probably be, similar to the farming guild, other areas of access at lower levels. So as long as you've done a clue scroll, maybe you could enter, but then there would be like different like floors or different tiers. Yeah, without me going into every single thing I address, I think that would be just an amazing place to be able to, like, I don't know, show off your achievements to other clue people. Maybe have like a fallow guy just there at the guild, so you don't have to teleport over there. Maybe there's a Sherlock guy standing there. Maybe there's a clue dungeon. So it's a lot of things, but I would love a clue guild. That would be amazing.
I had a good thingy from Sebe that you might like. He said that we could maybe add something on the shared table from all clues. It'd be like a strange old lockpick. Do you know what that is? From like the Barrows things?
Yeah, that's like the automatic door opener or whatever.
That, but for clue puzzles, so it would instantly solve.
Ah, can you buy them?
Yeah, that would be tradable.
Well, no one would use them because RuneLite does it like super quick.
Not on mobile though.
So it's just to fuck over mobile users.
I mean, some of the mobile plugins are alright. Like the mobile has a clue plugin. It's pretty good, but it doesn't solve
Really?
puzzles.
Wait, so it's inbuilt. So inbuilt in RuneScape as a clue plugin.
Yeah,
in
on
the official
mobile.
client. That defeats. So even the official client doesn't want to do clues properly.
When I got my friend into old school RuneScape, I started playing in about 2018, and he started playing along with me in 2019 or something. He was my roommate. And the thing that motivated him on the entire account was clue scrolls. He would not
Relatable.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he was basically doing what you do, but like, yeah, he wasn't doing a series or anything, but he would just not do anything on that account unless he had a clue requirement for it. I swear this man was 120 combat. He did not get Barrows gloves until there was something that required him to get Barrows gloves for a clue. The same thing with Oh my God, Piety drove me insane. He would not do. He would not get Piety. I was like, please get Piety. He was like 80 Slayer at this point. I'm like, please get Piety. He's like, no, I haven't gotten a clue step that I got to get Piety for. So
Well, on that note, it is weird that Chivalry is an elite step and Piety isn't a master step. I'll say that.
I wanna remove the RuneLight plugin. That's my new platform. Get rid of it.
No,
Make
you're gonna
everyone
make my job so hard.
Yeah, make you suffer. Yeah, you would have memorized it by now.
That's actually probably true.
I think at some point in the future, it would be okay to release potentially a different age, like second age stuff. But right now, I'm very content with third age being the GOAT, just being like the stuff that it's absolutely coveted by so many players.
we got to think that eventually they're going to come out with a new best in slot for boots that isn't going to involve needing rangers to make it. So when that happens, I'm curious to see how much the value of them drop. If I'm being honest, ranger boots, one of the most overrated items in the whole game.
100%. Like the value is literally just its novelty. Like it's unique and pristine statue.
I know the DPS increase you get from going to, I mean, even Pegasians, going from God D'hide boots to Pegasians, it's such a minimal DPS upgrade increase. I don't understand why they're so expensive, besides, like you said, with the novelty of it.
Yeah. I use Ancient D'hide boots or any Blessed D'hide boots over Rangers at any point.
Yeah, the only reason you would use it is if you're in Iron Man and well, it's like it's best in slots, you might as well use it. But if you're a main account, don't buy those. Unless you're absolutely maxed, don't buy those. Because I'll be honest, I have never been a big fan of Fashionscape.
Oh, wow, that's a take.
Yeah, I've never really cared that much about it. And I'm a player that, I started playing this game way later than everybody else. And the only thing that I've ever cared about is stats. Like if something looks cool, but it also gives me great stats, that's just a bonus. Like I think the Inferno Cape is one of the best looking items in the game because of what it gives you. And also it just kind of looks pretty cool. But just to have something for fashion and that is it. I don't really care too much. I don't really care too much for that. I do think the Elysian Spirit Shield is probably one of the best looking items in the game, but I also like it because being a hardcore, it would just be phenomenal for wilderness tanking. And so that's why I have that draw to it. So yeah, I would want something as a reward that would actually be usable for me and not just purely cosmetic.
Also, while we're here, we should get rid of rune full helms at greater demons.
Why?
For the same reason. Because it annoys me, because I have to pick them up. And if I don't pick them up, then it's a waste of 20k.
And on that note, let's not follow Hanani and just keep the clue plugin in the game. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and do your clues.